What's good, Dame Nation? It's Barrock Damien. In today's video, I'm out here with a new series right here for Rainbow Six Siege. I will be talking about the most underrated defenders in this video across the entire game as of Operation Parabellum. I'll make a new video on the most underrated attackers and the most overrated attackers and defenders. So if you want to watch those videos, they'll be coming out in the coming weeks. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, do all that great stuff. Now, before I do get started, though, I want to mention that these clips in the background have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. There's just some background gameplay from ranked matches and custom games. Now, my first operator on the most underrated defending list is Kapkan. And by far, I think he is the most underrated, least picked operator there is on defense. I think that the effect that Kapkan can have on the game is great because he's got 5 booby traps that was raised from an original 3. Now, they are not lethal like they used to be, but they will take 40 to 60 damage depending on the armor of the attacker that runs into it. And this can mean a lot. If an attacker runs straight into your Kapkan trap, that'll take off half their health. If they come into another one and they're not being careful, they're dead. And even if they don't, which most of the time they won't run into a second one, they're already lit up. It's going to take significantly less bullets, maybe a bullet or two, just to kill them, as where you can be at 100 health. That'll make a huge difference in a firefight, not only for yourself, but for your teammates. So I think he's just a great utility operator, 2 armor, 2 speed operator. That was just great seeing him become more mobile. You know, one of the reasons he wasn't used was because he was a 3 armor, but now he's a 2 armor, 2 speed, so you can get around well. His 9x19 SVN is such a great gun. It is a laser. It's honestly one of the most accurate weapons in this game. A lot of people compare it to the UMP45. I definitely say that it's a lot better than the UMP45. But overall, Kapkan is just not picked enough. I think he's where he needs to be. He's great. Ubisoft has done everything that they need to do to get him in a good spot. And really, if you guys are looking to win more matches, or will make huge differences for your team. So I really recommend you guys, take your squad, find a Kapkan main, whoever can play the best with him, whoever likes him the most, and really see that, because on bomb, really especially, he can be a huge difference. On secure area, hostage isn't played much, but on any single situation, any game mode, any map, he's very versatile, and his utility, what he brings to the table, can make huge changes for your team. Now, the second most underrated defender on my list would be Echo. I feel like Echo, as he dropped, as he first originally came out, when he did a while ago, was pretty good. Obviously, I think he just had like that new operator fever where everybody plays them. They think he's overpowered. His yokai was OP apparently, or whatever. His MP5 SD was great, blah, 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 right? All that eventually left, and he just fell into oblivion, not really played much. And then Ubisoft came out, they gave him 2 yokai drones, and that was great. I don't know if they made changes to his SMG, but just the 2 yokai drones and what they do makes a huge difference. Oh, and also your teammates can view those yokai drones as well. Previously they couldn't, so now that's really good, because that is 2 extra cameras that you can get on defense. And as long as Echo is still alive, he can prevent the plant, which is obviously one of the biggest things that he's done. But not only does he have 2 now, right? Because before he had 1, which could easily be shot out. You can use it for so many more situations as you would want to. The disorient effect is really good. It's very annoying. If they're not being vigilant about where it is, you can really slow down the round and win this game for your team. And even if you do die off early or at some point in the midst of the round, you won't be completely useless, because your yokai drones will still be where they are. So they serve almost as a Valkyrie camera, or any other type of device that you can use to view, and that's really, really great. I definitely recommend that you guys bring out an Echo main. I mean, he's a great anchor, obviously 3 armor, 1 speed. Pair him up with a Doc or a Rook. Obviously there's the classic Doc and Rook duo, but take a Doc, take a Rook, and then put them with Echo, and you've got such a great lineup right there to anchor, as long as the person knows what they're doing. The MP5 SD is very good. Yes, it is a suppressed weapon, but obviously it's an MP5. It's very similar to the MP5, almost better in a lot of situations. So I definitely recommend getting good with Echo. Third and final on my list for most underrated defenders would, surprisingly to most of you guys, would be Castle. Now, I feel like Castle has been a guy that a lot of people don't like since the beginning, he just really hasn't seemed like one of the most powerful people. You know, his gadget seems annoying. It may not be the most effective in every scenario. His guns are a bit underwhelming. And he's just not really that interesting of an operator. And that's why his pick rate has always been so low. But I feel like if you really learn how to play Castle, he will make huge differences. Now, obviously, he's a situational player. He's like Mira. Obviously, you can't play him on every objective, on every bomb site. You can't do that with him. But there is always going to be a viable bomb site objective or two on every map that you play where he can make a huge difference for your team. Because Castle is really just a guy that you need to use teamwork with, because if you can set up those castle barricades in good spots around the map instead of just blocking your teammates out of the objective, you're really going to slow the opposition down, and you're going to be able to change the course of the game with those castle traps. Now obviously Ash, Zofia, Sledge, people like this can easily take those castle barricades down, but in a lot of situations they won't come across you. I mean, there's more operators out there, they don't always get picked, and if they run into you, say any other operator that can't just automatically breach it down, then you're blocking them. They're going to have to call for assistance, they're going to have to reroute a different way, and you can block some of the most annoying entryways on any map, on any bomb site. And really, it's just a great way to distract and stop the course of the game, really. It may not seem like it, but it makes more of a difference than it may just seem on paper. Also, his guns are a bit lackluster, like I've always said. The UMP-45, I've never been a fan, but the M1014 is great. Honestly, it's like Pulse. If you use it right, you can definitely put in a lot of work with it. And while I do think he is situational, I think he is a lot better than he is deemed to be. And that's pretty much it, guys, for my video. Make sure you go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, tell me down below who you want to see on the next lists. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm out.